morning there. You're watching QTV This Morning, and I am Jenna Basonko. I'm here with my amazing co-host, Mr. Ibrahim Balde, as well as our guest, Mr. Adedrami. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. Last week, Mr. Ade was talking about the fact that we should always, give our guests a rundown of what we'll be doing. So we just hope that, we'll have everything. Let's just put it that way. We just hope that we'll have everything that we have here.
Well, I was going to say, I think we have to confess that one of the reasons we don't do it is because sometimes our guests
do not turn up, which is beyond our control. So sometimes, we do not want to, inform you of topics that are coming up, and you might be in anticipation, sitting down, and then you don't end up seeing that. But, that is the reason why. So I hope you understand.
And we hope, the list we have on our running order, people will turn up.
Most of they do turn up, but sometimes traffic or we have issues of rain, car accident. A lot of things happen along the way, and it's early morning, which we understand as well. True. So, gentlemen, how was your weekend?
I'm surprised today she introduced me as Mr. Ibrahim Balde. You mentioned the Mr. at the beginning of my name. So
you can get away with it. It's just for today.
I am surprised.
It's just for today. You can get away with it. Well, Mr. Ade, the usual?
The usual. I was so tired that I actually ended the week with quite a cold, and I had very stuffy
That cold
nose.
From last week?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it got worse, and it's probably still there. People can hear in my voice, but it's getting better.
Nice.
And so the weekend I definitely to the extent that I actually overslept this morning, which
is a good thing.
It's a good thing, but very unusual for me because I got up at 5 o'clock, and I thought, it's too early. I thought it was too early. I thought, let me sleep for half an hour, and then 6:30 my phone rang.
But 6:30 is okay.
What's going on? So I had to shower very quickly because there were people waiting for me on the highway.
Okay, to bring them.
To bring them to work. So,
wow.
But yeah, it was cool. But it's good. I think your body tells you when you.
Your body. If you don't get your body the rest it needs, it's definitely going to rest on its own.
Yes,
and it's even worse because it brings surprises.
Yeah, so it was good. But on Sunday I watched quite a lot of documentaries, which is kind of one of my favorite things to do if I'm not going out. So I was meant to meet up with some friends, but they cancelled. So fine, I wasn't.
But I'm happy you
I didn't
overslept.
complain, and yes, I'm happy I overslept.
I'm happy about that. How about you?
Well, I had a great weekend. I was throughout at home, so
that's good.
A lot of activities. If I'm not at work, I do a lot of activities at home.
You should,
I run a shop, so I'm always busy going up and down.
Yeah.
But like you said, you watch a lot of documentaries. I am also addicted to FBI files now. I watch a lot of FBI files.
Wow.
A lot
investigative
of them investigative. I got to learn a lot of things. How they do this forensic analysis, the polygraph test. How they apprehend, how they do their investigation. So I think, a friend introduced me to watching those movies. At some point I got addicted. Now I've even introduced it to my wife. My wife doesn't watch anything now except FBI.
And you know what? It's good you mentioned, because while growing up, I didn't go out a lot. Like, I didn't go to my friends to play or just hang out. If you go to school, you're just indoors. I didn't have a social life growing up, and I was not part of any organization as well, mentorship or anything. So all I could do is either go to school, come home, watch television. So there are a lot of things that I've learned through movies.
Okay. What about radio? Did you listen to
so many
radio
words? Radio, I used to listen to radio every weekend. Because every weekend is because at that time, Unique FM used to have a lot of youth-related programs. So I used to love that so much. So every weekend, I know my phone had a radio, and then it has to happen.
Cool.
But during the week, I watch TV, and there are a lot of words, a lot of things that I've learned watching movies. So, there are just a lot of things. If you don't have the social life, then the movie kind of is something that you can make use of.
It's good for you to, watch certain things or listen to. So it will tell you how other people are progressing,
cultures,
how they are going through certain things. That's why most of the time, there was a time we had this guy from the Gambia police force when he came here. I think he was part of this investigative, forensic something.
something.
But I think the way they do their thing was very slow for me.
I
think the movies
that's not.
I mean, you know, that I watched. You understand?
Fiction, okay.
So to their standards. So he said to me, "Okay, I understand."
Like you watch the movie SWAT.
You know
that movie SWAT. You watch that and you think they're gonna behave like that.
Yeah. So I mean, he was like, "I know where you're coming from, but
it doesn't work like
he said to me, calm down. We're getting there gradually." You know. So, but I mean, that's it. That's how I spent my weekend.
Amazing.
You know? So,
I had a good weekend.
And for you?
Though.
Yeah,
I had it because
the
it was my birthday weekend.
Yeah.
So I got a treat at a local hotel. So I went with a friend, which was really good for absolutely free. You know, I didn't pay anything.
We won't mention them.
We won't mention them, but thank you to them. They know themselves.
They know who they are.
They know who they are. That was amazing. And the fact that, you know, I got a lot of wonderful messages from people that I've not heard from for so long.
Okay.
You know, that I do not even have their numbers. They would text you and say happy birthday. Like,
and you who's this?
And then who's this? So I felt so loved. Yeah, but on the other hand, there's this media outlet that actually posted me. They have a huge following in the Gambia, you know. I think I know. You know, so I went through the comments and I'm like, oh my God, there are a lot of haters in this. Yeah, really? I got a lot of. He was just telling me I got a lot of hate, you know, while I was reading. So I was like, guys, it's my birthday. Please,
when I saw the post,
save it for another.
Save it for another day. It's not for my birthday.
You know, when I saw the post, I went straight to the comments.
And you saw the negative.
I said I don't have anything to do with the picture. I know the picture.
But the comments.
So let me go check the comments. So I went to the comment, but I was a bit disappointed.
And a lot of them were like, oh, but it wasn't bad. It was about personally. They were like, oh, she's smart, she's good at what she's doing, but she's not beautiful. You know,
I wanted to comment. I wanted to say, I wanted to say another man's food is another man's poison.
Leave it alone.
Monkey no fine.
Some of them are like,
but mama like them.
Some of them are like, I like her. Yeah. I would love to be with her, but she's above my pay grade. I'm like, thank God, you know, you can't afford me. Excuse me. Well, it was a lot.
That's interesting. I saw the post, but maybe I need to go and check out the comments as well.
But don't get me wrong, the comments were amazing. You know, it's just some few elements, you know, who would always say, but whatever the case, all of them admitted that, oh, she's good at what she does. But it was the debate was about the fact that outlet posted that the beauty of QTV. So that was where the debate came in. People had to analyze, is she beautiful or not? You know, so they had to get into the elements of
beauty lies in the eyes. You understand what I'm saying?
Anyway,
to me, you're beautiful. I mean,
but anyway,
she's beautiful.
Like you said, it depends. But you know, Gambia, that kind of shows you the culture in the Gambia, Mr. Ade. The last time me and Mr. Carr and you talked about it a little bit. In the African context, you have to be fair in complexion to be a beautiful person. Today, if a person who's fair in complexion and a person who's dark stand together, they would always, even if the person who's dark is smarter, the person who's fair, smarter, they will reflect more, even if that person's not going to deliver to expectations, but it's about the person's color, the person's beauty.
Well, I think that's
in the African context.
Where we make our mistakes.
In the African context.
I was going to say it's more than an African, it's a black thing. Because I've mentioned it on here before. I once watched a very heated debate in Jamaica on Jamaican TV. And that's what the debate was about. They were saying that after all these years of independence, if you went around Jamaica and you looked at billboards, you will never see any billboards where the woman who was meant to be the beautiful was dark-skinned. And yet the majority of them are dark. They're all light-skinned women. They almost came to blows in the studio because they were asking the people who
put out the billboards,
these advertising companies, why do you do that? Even now, you're doing it. You can't find any dark-skinned women on our billboard.
That's sad.
Idiotic in Jamaica. You know, and so it's not just, it's everywhere.
It's everywhere. It's not just an African problem. It's everywhere.
You go to places like Congo, it's even worse.
Yeah.
You know,
so I think when it has to do with, before we go to the proverb, it has to do with how parents also raise their kids. You know, when they're born, you have to make them understand that it's beyond how you look outer. It's about when you open your mouth, what you say, and in your head, what you think. That is very important. That's how you raise them. That's how you make them understand.
A woman is beautiful until she opens her mouth.
And talk, and then the sense comes out. Or it
there are people that you know.
So you get to choose.
They are not beautiful on the outside, you understand? But when they talk, you can feel that
but it's
maturity.
about how parents raise their kids. So let's go right on to the proverb now. You want to read it out?
He who keeps on trying gets the reward. He who keeps
this seems
on
familiar.
trying gets the reward.
Yeah, I mean, you know, again, it's less a proverb than just a quote. I guess.
And we've been having this
we've had similar. I mean, but I guess, you know, if at first you don't succeed, try and try again. And there's an element in that, because sometimes, you know, going through life, you can do something and you don't succeed, and you might want to give up, and then you see other people who they take knockbacks. But they don't give up. They think, you know, I want to achieve this. I will come again. I'll try again. You had, you know, people like Abdullah Wad. How many times did he not try for the presidency before he finally got it? He could have given up.
Yeah, definitely.
But he didn't. You know, he kept on trying. And you've had similar in other countries where somebody has gone for the highest office in the land. They've tried and tried, and they haven't got it. And sometimes they get it, sometimes they don't. Raila Odinga in Kenya, you know, he's tried and tried. He's never made it. But I think he still wants to be president, you know, after, I think he's tried 7 times. You know, so yeah. In his case, he hasn't got it, but he might. Yeah,
it depends on how you pick up yourself and try again. I mean, how you get that energy back. I mean, it's very difficult to get the energy once you are down, but once you are able to motivate yourself to get that energy again.
Keyword, because it can be quite deflating if you put a lot of effort into something and you don't achieve that something. Yeah. You think, oh, you know, I've done my best. Why did I not get it? And then you can give up. But if you are self-motivating, or you have people around you who help to make motivating, then that can definitely help.
That's but then he who keeps on trying gets the reward. Okay, he who keeps on trying gets the reward. It does not, the reward you get, it's not always the reward of what you're specifically looking for. So
it can be different.
It can be different. Like I can want a particular opportunity a lot. I keep on applying for the longest time. I can't have it. But the reward, because of your determination to keep on doing things, it's going to attract some positive energy around you as to attracting some other opportunities. Sometimes you even end up getting something better. Because you kept on working hard, so it's going to attract other opportunities automatically. I've been through that before. I've wanted certain things so much and put in a lot of effort and energy into it, but because I'm putting a lot of effort to achieve that particular thing, it ends up attracting other things around me. And sometimes you even come to realize that those things are even better, and it even brings more benefits than what you thought is what you wanted.
A blessing in disguise.
Yes, a blessing in disguise.
And sometimes the failure actually ends up teaching you a lesson, valuable lessons. You think, oh, you know, had I not failed at this, I wouldn't have learned this or that. You know, before I came to the Gambia, it's really weird. A job came up in England, and totally independently, about 10 of my friends said to me, "Go for that job.
Oh, nice.
You're made for this job." You know, I went and I found out that 50 people had applied.
Oh my God!
And it ended up with myself and one other. After 3 rounds of interviews, there were just the 2 of us left. And I remember the day I went for the final interview. As I was leaving, I saw the guy there waiting, and I wished him luck, you know, and I said, you know, good luck, and you know, I said, may the best man win, you know, and you know, we shook hands, and about 3 days later, they wrote to tell me that they had given him the job.
Oh, nice!
Which is cool, and it would have meant me leaving the job that I was in, so I'd already resigned from my job anyway.
What? You were that confident?
No, not because of that job.
Okay.
But you know, I was intending to move here,
okay.
so that would have kept me in England.
All right.
But as it happened, 6 months after that, the guy was sacked. So, you know,
they called you again.
They called me again, and I said, I'm sorry.
I'm
finalized.
And what was really weird, the day I was traveling to the Gambia, I met one of the guys on the interview board at the airport.
Nice.
And he said to me, oh, you know that job has come again, you know, and, you know, we're thinking of, I said, I'm moving to the Gambia, sorry, I'm not interested now. I said, you should have given it to me then.
Yeah.
Because when I did my presentation at the final one, the 6 people on the board stood up and clapped.
Because
and then one of them said, he said, this is the first time we've done this for anybody who's presented.
So why didn't they pick you then?
So, yeah.
But it was not meant for you.
It wasn't meant.
Yeah, it wasn't meant.
So I took it as
and the moment
and I put a lot into it.
And if you have that concept in you, what is mine will always be mine.
Yeah,
and
for me,
what is not meant for me, it's not mine.
That's how I've always taken it. If I don't get it, I'm like, you know what?
Me too.
It wasn't meant
I
to
used
be.
to be like so depressed, so stressed, like crying in a corner. That was like
if you are
years
anxious
ago.
to get something.
So right now I'm like, you lost, I win, because having me in whatever you're doing is your own benefit, not me. That's how I think.
Well, at some point, I think if
for 2 minutes I'm upset that I didn't get it.
The next minute
like,
you just move on.
Well,
saying upset is not going to give me the job.
It's not going to give you.
So
if you live your life that way, you will find what we call comfort. At some point, you won't bother yourself with a lot of things. You get a peace of mind. So I think that's how we're supposed to live. So we proceed.
We go for a short break, and when we come back, don't forget to come and sponsor the show, guys.
Yeah.
I mean, what are they waiting for?
Sponsors invited.
Sponsors invited. After you get your hand.
No, I will worry. The thing is, the market competition be dafa ñoo tough because
so you better do it now.
Now the business we want luñ bëgga moy da ngeen ñëw ngeen won ñu lan ak lan ngeen amé because time dafa ñëw. If you don't prove yourself, no one is going to.
Mr. Adi, at some point we'll be choosing who's going to sponsor the show.
Well, this is it.
So they better make a choice.
I said last week that I think people, without even contacting us, they think it's too much. Get in touch. We're very reasonable. So, please.
Yeah, they're just assuming without even coming on board to chat with us. Come and chat with us, please. And it's double sponsorship. You sponsor the show and you have these amazing people talk about your product.
Big you up.
Big your product up.
When we talk about you, you must go.
The person must
go. No, but we are born for talking.
We are meant to do this. Let's go for some break. We'll be back.
The art of juggling is a true spectacle of agility, coordination, and speed. A symbol of progression, precision, and mastery. "5G speed is like having the juggler in your pocket. With lightning-fast download and upload speeds, you'll easily be able to juggle even the busiest workdays. Whether you're a busy entrepreneur, a creative, or just someone who wants to stay connected, juggle your tasks with ease with QCell 5G Speed. The future is here. It's fast, reliable, and efficient. First brought to you by QCell. We innovate, others follow.
The future is now. With QCell's 5G network, experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled device. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back from that short break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning. I'm Jenna Bostonko, and here's my co-host, Ibrahim Abalde, as well as our guest, Mr. Adedirami.
Yeah, and we are still on our birthday week.
Okay, guys.
We are still open for presents. I mean, you
really?
can send your gifts.
Do you see Mr. Ade is using the bombastic side eye on you?
I can receive
the Where is your gift, Mr. Ade? Mr. Ade, Mr. Ade, where is his birthday gift? I didn't receive any.
You'll get it
yet. After, okay.
Yeah, I'm good.
But anyway, let's get into serious business. President Barrow launches smart farming project with hope for efficient agri production.
Yeah, I mean, we've been talking a lot about this kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I've said before, I think one of the reasons why many governments in Africa have not gone in for smart farming or mechanized farming is that if you have a lot of people engaged in something like farming, and then you get a machine that does the work of 50 people,
Yeah.
then you get a lot of output. And 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 then you get what do you do with the other 49 who are no longer employed? So many African governments, even though they've liked the idea, they've kind of stayed away from it because you're creating unemployment
in a way,
as well as you're sort of improving your farming outcomes.
Right.
You then have to deal with the headache of all the people whose jobs will be taken by machines. What do we do with them? And you find that in various industries around the world. Just on Saturday, I beg your pardon, on Thursday, I was in a Zoom meeting, and we were talking about the banks in England. And they were saying that one of the banks, I can name it, NatWest, they said if you go in now, you can't even get to speak to anybody. You operate everything from a machine because they've kind of taken away. So those machines have taken away everything. You type your answers and your questions, etc. Even if you're paying in money, it gives you an envelope. You write, you fill out the form, you put the envelope, and you put it in this thing, and it swallows the money, and you get a receipt. And so, that's one instance where, machines have taken over from people. So in terms of smart farming, it's all sorts of things, including things that can water your plants when you're not there because, it's computerized and so on. So there are a lot of good aspects to it, but you have to balance.
I think the advantage, in Africa, the disadvantage in Africa will be huge because, if maybe 30 people are unemployed now in a particular organization and another one, it's still going to cause a lot of problems for us. So considering how to go about, smart farming, I think, that needs to be checked properly.
Yeah, Babukar is just, telling me, Babukar says about how even in other countries, people get to buy petrol on their own, then there's nobody to like...
Oh, that's, I can't remember the last time in England or America when somebody came and did my petrol.
He just
everywhere
reminded
except
me.
here.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
It's so common.
Yeah, you do it on your own.
Across Europe.
Yeah.
There's nobody serving you at a petrol station.
You don't, in certain supermarkets, you don't even need someone there. You just put in the coin and then it comes out.
No, now I think they've taken it to another level. I checked a video the other time. There's a robot. If you come to the petrol station, the robot is the thing that will...
When Mr. Khan and I went to Dubai, there's a robot
that
waiter that comes and brings your tea or coffee.
You don't have to do anything.
In Dubai there.
In Dubai, they program it to come to your particular table. And it comes with the coffee, and you take your coffee, and then it goes.
Let's take a look at this smart intelligence. The new machines they are inventing. It looks like a human being. It looks like a real human being. There was a football game that was happening somewhere. I think these machines were in that field, that pitch. They were controlling everything.
I think that's just an experiment.
But we've also seen the delivery. The machine that also delivers the food to your doorstep. I also saw that, in Germany.
And of course, you have self-driving cars.
Yeah, the self-driving cars as well. So I think
we're not going to get them anytime soon. Not with our roads.
But then just generally, when it comes to the project, we hope that this will be, able to bring, more development.
Definitely something to be welcomed.
More food, for example, because there are certain things that we import, for example, that we import almost everything. So just hoping that with the smart farming initiative, it will change that.
We even import peanut butter.
Exactly, that we can locally make here.
Which
this is really needed.
Bizarre.
When it's introduced, it will be more effective, because these are controlled by machines, and I understand, we will have we would be able to farm a huge piece of land.
There are many elements to it, and definitely to be welcomed. And so, big up to the president.
He called it promise made, a promise kept.
Sure.
That's how he called it.
So let's see how my people around Basse will be using smart farming to farm.
Around the country.
Yes.
And we embrace it, and let's make the best of it, I think.
Yeah, because when they just came in, when they just came in, the new dispensation, agriculture was an area they actually talked about.
But they all do. They
all do. But they're just like areas.
How do we approach it?
Approach it, and how do we deliver on it?
Yeah,
because,
I just hope that we
and
get.
so now we're getting closer to doing something about making a difference.
Another interesting story, you know, Issa Williams announces his retirement from BBC because, you know, this is an individual that
you've not
is a
seen
Gambian.
No,
yeah, it's all over the place.
And Issa, I apologize. The last time you were in the Gambia, we were meant to meet up. Unfortunately,
you couldn't.
Work meant we couldn't, so I apologize. So this somebody I have a lot of respect for.
So the thing is, this is an individual that, you know, works for the BBC. We hear his voice, you know, and then for me, growing up and wanting to be a journalist, I wasn't actually sure that somebody from the Gambia can work for
the likes of the BBC.
Yeah. So he actually proved it. Sure. Maybe some people can be columnists, they can just write columns and stuff, but he's there like permanently, he's doing what he's doing.
Does it say what he's going to go on to do? Does it
no,
say
it doesn't. Okay. According to the article, what I read, I just saw on to the next, as in to the next chapter, but did not see specifically what he's going to do. But he's been there for over 13 years now,
yes, I saw
so
that.
he's leaving. But it's a good thing because at least as Gambians, young people, we can
we are
point
motivated
at someone,
by you know, a person like that.
Yeah.
You know, but I
hadn't seen that.
Yeah,
yet,
but that's like,
news to me.
You see, at some point when you work at a place, I mean, no matter how good you are, there will be a day that you will be living.
I mean, people like Sophie Kenya, Peter Okocha,
they all left.
Hassan Haruni,
a friend of mine.
Tobon Moyo, or something.
Yeah.
She does focus on Africa.
So, you know, a lot of them, you know, Bola
Musu.
They've all
great voices.
All these voices and names, you know, Josephine Hazley, you know, names that we've known for many, many years. They've all left.
Where's our Peter Okocha?
Peter Okocha, we're friends on LinkedIn.
So before we wrap up, Mr. Ade, what were some of your key takeaways when it comes to the United Nations General Assembly, the 78th General Assembly?
Yeah, it was interesting. I mean, one of the interesting ones was the representative for Mali, because Niger had not been allowed to speak, they spoke for Mali and for Niger. So, so they ended up not excluding Niger. And literally just before I came on this program, I was listening again to the guy from Burkina Faso. And his speech is long. I think he speaks for 30 minutes. Or 38 minutes, but he covered a lot of things. There's a lot of anti-French sentiment there, so that came through in a lot of the things. But for me, we didn't have time to discuss, you know, that the French ambassador is leaving Niger. But for me, it's a kind of laziness now to blame the French for everything.
Yeah, me too. That's how I think, honestly.
And you know, these guys who said, "Oh, we took over because our civilian government couldn't handle jihadists." The problem has gotten even worse under these military regimes. So, you know, why don't you step down, because you've not been able to deal with it either. So, you know, people were getting all excited. Oh, you know, they're going to deal with it. No, they're not. I mean, you were there, you know, and then you had the, you know, Mali, Burkina, and Niger signing this pact. If you attack one, we will all defend. You can't even defend yourselves now against the people who are causing you harm, and you're talking about defending yourself against the whole of ECOWAS. It's like nonsense. It's just propaganda. PR nonsense.
Yeah, seems like it. And then you can see the press release from the Niger presidency is talking about how they're celebrating a step towards sovereignty of Niger, that French troops and French ambassador will leave the Nigerian soil by the end of the year. It is a historic moment, they call it, which testifies to the determination and will of the Nigerian people.
But it's not going to solve anything. It doesn't mean that jihadism will stop and that the people who've been causing problems there will cease doing that. So it's an empty gesture.
I've listened to Doumbouya of Guinea-Conakry.
Right.
I mean, he also highlighted, I mean, leaders coming and staying for so long without leaving power. So I said, let's see what will happen. Let's
with
see.
him.
With him as well. But thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us on the program. It's always good to have you here, Mr. Ade.
Always a thrill.
Yeah, so we'll just go for a short break and we'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
Ultimate bundles. Enjoy the best voice and data bundle plans in one package. Get unlimited data packages with flexible validity and enjoy what true internet feels like. Get 30 minutes of on-net and off-net calls with 5 gigabytes of data for just $350.
or get bigger bundle packages from 10 gigabytes to 20 gigabytes with over 100 on-net and off-net voice calls and enjoy the fastest internet speed in the Gambia. You can also buy 1-day, 3-day or even 7-day packages and enjoy unlimited data bundles with uncapped speeds. Just dial *343# today and experience the limitless capabilities of the QCell network. *343# should be your favorite code to dial now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, we innovate, others follow.
Step into the Espas Motors showroom for your luxurious name brand vehicle. Located along the Bertil Harding Highway, Espas Motors is the Gambia's authorized dealer for Chery, Kia, Ford, and now we bring you the new Peugeot model 3008 SUV. 18-inch alloy wheels, 216 inches high ground clearance, keyless entry system, start and stop button, rear parking assistance system, reverse camera, adaptive cruise control with speed limit, LED daytime running lights, front and side airbags, 8-inch HD touchscreen. Not to forget our exquisite Peugeot Landtrek double cabin pickup with 2.1-liter diesel engine, 6-speed manual transmission 4x4, hill descent control, LED daytime running lights. Espas Motors, the authorized dealer for Peugeot. Visit us today or call us on 35-2222 or 353-4444.
Do your banking the smart way with the new Ajibank mobile app. Transfer money to any bank account in the Gambia. Top up airtime for all networks. Pay utility bills. Check your account balance and view mini statements. Request for ATM cards. Request for checkbooks and more in a single touch. So, do your banking in a smart way. Do your banking now with Ajibank mobile app. Every time is banking time. Ajibank, your investment partner. You asked for it, and QCell is giving it to you with our new and improved Sunyu Bundle Mega Promo. Now you can get more data at cheaper prices. Buy any of our bundle packages and enjoy massive discounts. Dial *303# and enjoy browsing on the network with the biggest coverage. Buy a 20 megabytes data bundle for as low as $7 and 50 bottles today, or purchase bigger bundles up to 20 gigabytes. Yes, that's right, 20 gigabytes of data at your fingertips. With our mega promo bundles, you can browse more, chat longer, and stay connected on the go, anytime, anywhere. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, we innovate. Orders follow. Terms and conditions apply.
Welcome back from that break. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV this morning, and I'm Jenna Pasonko. So, Ibrahim, now we're shifting our attention to the Gambia Peace Corps, and we're joined by the Country Director, Peace Corps, Sira Moli, as well as Muhammad Uba, who's the Training Coordinator of Peace Corps. Thank you so much for joining us on the program. So, first of all, to lay the foundation, let's start with the goals that Peace Corps has. What does Peace Corps seek to achieve in the Gambia and beyond?
Thank you so much for having us. We're really honored. So the Peace Corps globally is working to connect American volunteers with the rest of the world, to work with governments around the world in partnership with community and government partners to work on locally prioritized projects. So here in the Gambia, we've been here since the late 60s, since 1967. We've had almost 2,000 volunteers, and we've been working closely with agriculture, health, and education projects. So we're very grateful to the Ministry of Primary and Secondary Education, the Ministry of Agriculture, and the Ministry of Health in partnering with our volunteers And we've been working a lot on numeracy and literacy work with young school children, with nutritional and agricultural security for families, and also a lot of different health initiatives, and with quite a bit of focus on maternal and child health in the villages. So we've been really working to identify with the local government and we're so grateful to be in partnership with the local Gambian government on what types of projects are most needed and most helpful for us to be a part of.
Yeah. All right. Growing up, I mean, we've welcomed a lot of Peace Corps volunteers in our communities. You know, I'm from the Basse area. You know, then I visit Nyamina. I visit a lot of villages. Njau, you know, so I met a lot of them. To us, growing up as, you know, young children, we thought, okay, these people, they're here to learn our language without even knowing areas of intervention, you know, so it's significant for us to communicate this to the general public. We are not only here to learn the local language, but we are here to change lives, you know, so can you take us through some of the maybe an example of what you've done and where you did these things? In
terms of a project?
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you like to take, because MMS Spa is very close to your work.
First, you said everyone thinks Peace Corps volunteers are here to learn language.
Exactly.
Yes, that is good. The language is usually the vehicle that we use to bring about development and change lives within the Gambian people. So when they come, we train them on language and cross culture. They have to understand our culture, because before you talk about development, you have to know the cultural norms within the development. We have to know how to talk to the alcalo. If you want to meet in the alcalo, how do you dress to meet the alcalo? So how do you greet people every day, so that when you invite them to a meeting, they will respect you because you are that person who greets people. Because we remember in their culture, greeting is not as great as our culture. So we have to train them on that. So we have 8 weeks to 10 weeks of training on language and cross culture. And then when they go to their site, they spend 3 months going around, looking at, asking questions, finding out what the needs are, because we have wants and we have needs. They have to find out what the needs of the community is, and they have to work with that community. Sometimes the community people will come and say, we want this, we want that, but then they have a questionnaire that they ask, and if the questionnaire points to a borehole with them, then they will come to the office, and then we will work with them and get a borehole for the community. But the volunteer has to work with the community in order to come up with a project, because we don't have one project coming up, and when the volunteer leaves, people will say, this is the TWAP's project. The project should be between the volunteer and the community, and 90% of the work and the thinking and everything should be done by the community. That is why we send people to those communities. Sometimes you are with a volunteer, you even forget that he is an American. We give him a Gambian name, a Gambian last name, and he communicates and consults with people. I think without shouting our trumpet, I think we are the only development organization that bring people from the U.S. and take them to those villages. They use toilets, pit latrines, they use bucket baths, and they
behave like us.
Yes.
It's important. I mean, you mentioned, I mean, when they come, you take them down to our communities, let them see how we live. You know, if you want to interact with the people, especially we all understand how we live, you know, in the Gambia, you have to come down to our level, you know, that will really make the job very easy for you.
Yeah, but one might also want to know, how are these, you know, Peace Corps volunteers selected in America? Are these students, college? How does the selection actually come about?
Yeah, so the Peace Corps team in the United States does the selection. So MMS Ba and many of his colleagues here will look at what types of projects do we have, how many volunteers would we like to request. The U.S. office will recruit. Many of them are young people who have recently finished being in university and are looking to start their career, but we also have more experienced volunteers. Here in the Gambia, it's difficult sometimes due to medical concerns to have older volunteers, so it often ends up being volunteers in their 20s. But in addition to the regular 2-year Peace Corps volunteer experience, we also have a program called Peace Corps Response, where we invite more experienced, skilled volunteers to work on more specific projects.
Okay, tailor-made.
Yeah, and so we're looking to increase the number of these volunteers coming in who have very specific experiences and skills and are more likely to be in the Combo area working in an office environment.
Okay.
So we're hoping to have a broader range of backgrounds and ages.
So, and again, Mr. Ba, you're the one that deals with them directly.
Yes.
When they come to Gambia and spend their entire time and they're taking to these communities and then they're back, about to go back to their respective states in the United States, what is their perception normally after doing the entire program? What is their perception of the Gambia normally?
When they come, we deliberately train them on culture and language.
Right.
Because they spend 8 weeks to 10 weeks in the training villages, Kayaf, Jalambere for Sarahule, Kayaf in Mandinka, and also Nemakuta, and Jiro for Pular. And we used to have Soma Tabokoto for Jola. So each, and Sekunda also for Mandinka. So when they come, they stay with this training villages. They have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with them. They give them a Gambian name. They do everything with them. Our teachers will just spend about 1, 2, 3 hours with them to teach them the grammar in our local languages and a few other things. And then they spend every time with their host families. We also give them some assignments that they do so that at least we can train them and then have an objective, achieve our objective at the end of the day. So by then their cultural and other things are different. Some of them come here with a lot of misconceptions about the Gambia. So they think the Gambia is disease-ridden. They believe in a lot of things about the Gambia. So everyone, that's what they believe about third world countries, the same way that
they have that concept.
Yes, all Americans, all Tubabs are doctors. A lot of people believe in that, so that is why when they go, people ask them for medicine. So there are a lot of misconceptions that we work on. By the time they live here, they have changed. Yes, they come here with their worldview and their perception of the world at this stage, but by the time they leave, everything changes. Sometimes they even have a career change during that training. Yes, some people will do international studies and want to become a journalist, but then because of certain things, they want to move their career to something else.
Because of the realities that they're seeing.
Yeah, well, and I was a Peace Corps volunteer in Southern Africa, in Lesotho, and I can say that I was there for 3 years. By the end of my 3 years, I felt very confused about where my home was because I felt so at home in Southern Africa and Lesotho, but also it was like this blended life and this connection to different cultures, which I think is really healthy for people in the United States to be connected to different parts of the world. But yeah, many people want to come back, especially those that were evacuated during COVID-19 when everything came to a quick halt. I know we've had some visitors and even some of our volunteers who are here now, they were here before COVID and returned. They wanted to come back.
Because they love it.
So, Mr. Ba, tell us, I mean, with all these, things you mentioned here, we must know sometimes these jobs, they come with challenges.
Yes.
So take us through some of the difficulties that your Peace Corps volunteers face.
Yeah, Americans volunteers are spies. They always tell us
I heard
that.
about that.
Yes, they always tell us that. But I say, no, they are not spies. They are here to help us with our development because Peace Corps has 3 goals. The first goal is to send qualified Americans to countries of the third world to help them in human development, capacity building, And second goal is for the Americans to learn about Gambian culture and culture where they are safe. And then the third goal is for those Americans to go back to America and tell them about the Gambia. So when the volunteers come here during their holidays, they will have a vacation. They can go to the US, go to schools, and talk to them about the Gambia and other things and experience. At least that Indians also, the American people, they understand what is happening. Apart from that, that is, some people, as you said, their vision of Peace Corps, what they know about Peace Corps is only limited to them coming to learn the language and other things. And some people tell us that you are teaching these people, but it is a bad idea. I said no, because we once had a Peace Corps volunteer who left the Gambia and went back to the US. At the airport, he found a Gambian boy and sitting down. He had all his documents, but he cannot communicate with the immigration authorities. This Peace Corps volunteer came and he said he saw him and then knew automatically that this guy is from the Gambia, because the volunteer is also serving around Basé. They spoke and they connected, and this Peace Corps volunteer had to help the Gambian and take him out of immigration and then take him home. So let's imagine there was no Peace Corps. That
would have been a different story.
So that Gambian's future and all the investment and other things would have been different. So the benefits that we have outweigh the challenge.
So how long does it take one to learn the language? I mean, to be able to communicate well? How long? How many years?
Because you know, I've been to Nyamina and some of them, their Wolof is better than mine. Mandinka better than mine.
They are full.
Yes, so, and I've been here forever. So I don't know.
You know, I went to Njao the other time. I met a Peace Corps volunteer there. I can still remember that. You know, we had a program. QCell went there. We were doing some marketing, and he came to the place. You know, when we were talking, I mean, he was communicating in Fula.
Right.
I was even thinking, no.
Is that right?
What?
But thank you so much for joining us on the program. We're so glad, and I'm, you know, hoping to see more community projects coming from Peace Corps.
Please do one thing for me.
What's that?
Next time, if you have a new volunteer, call her Jena Basonko.
Why? I'm sure there are a lot of Jenabas there.
I know of one at least.
Yes, please call her Jenabas.
Really? Thank you so much.
If she comes, please name
we have a lot
her
of
Jenabas.
You have a lot of Jenabas. Okay, bring the Jenabas.
We have one Jenaba in CRR.
You see?
Who is Pular.
Okay, so bring the
But they always take the surname of their family.
Yeah, so. The Jenaba so don't mind it. But thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
You coming. We'll just go for a short break, and when we come back, we'll be taking a look at sports. Momoto Gajaga will be joining us.
The art of juggling is a true spectacle of agility, coordination, and speed. A symbol of progression, precision, and mastery. Speed is like having the juggler in your pocket. With lightning-fast download and upload speeds, you'll easily be able to juggle even the busiest workdays. Whether you're a busy entrepreneur, a creative, or just someone who wants to stay connected. Juggle your tasks with ease with QCell 5G Speed. The future is here. It's fast, reliable, and efficient. First brought to you by QCell. We innovate, others follow.
The future is now. With QCell's 5G network, experience speeds like never before with our new 5G Rocket Fixed Internet plan. Get speeds from 10 Mbps to 100 Mbps. Your 5G-enabled devices. Walk into QCell headquarters to get one of our 5G routers and experience the true feeling of 5G. Only with QCell. QCell brings you the future. Tech, innovation, incredible speed. The future is now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell, Sunyabus. We innovate, others follow. Terms and conditions apply.
QCell brings you the future with our ultimate bundles. Enjoy the best voice and data bundle plans in one package. Get unlimited data packages with flexible validity and enjoy what true internet feels like. Get 30 minutes of on-net and off-net calls with 5 gigabytes of data for just $350. Or get bigger bundle packages from 10 gigabytes to 20 gigabytes with over 100 on-net and off-net voice calls and enjoy the fastest internet speed in the Gambia. You can also buy 1-day, 3-day or even 7-day packages and enjoy unlimited data bundles with uncapped speeds. Just dial *343# today and experience the limitless capabilities of the QCell network. *343# should be your favorite code to dial now. For more information, call our customer care on 111. QCell. We innovate, others follow.
From that short break, like I mentioned, we'll be joined by Mamadou Kajaga on sports. And happy birthday. Yesterday was your birthday. Success and good health. Thank you for
so
joining
much.
us.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
The same month with
Yes,
Kajaga.
yes.
Yeah,
We go way back,
September
me
is
and
all over
him.
the place. September is a blessed month. Man.
Yeah.
So many birthdays.
Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Always good and feels great to be here.
Right.
Yeah. So sports. We're talking about local football, young players being helped to make them stay away from the beach because there are risky aspects of going to the beach, especially for very young people during the school summer holidays, and also minimizing their risks of being caught up in road traffic accidents and things like that.
Right.
So this competition, the organizer himself is in the studio. He's a musician, an artist. At the same time, you know, he organizes this competition. I think this is the second time he's organizing it for the kids in Banjul, and the final was played just a few days ago, and I was at the final. Very exciting football match between Austin BFC and Johnson B. Beautiful game, fantastic goal scored by Mamadou Barry was the decider of the game. So lovely. The chap is very smart, very intelligent. I think the future is bright for him if he continues playing football. And I have with me in the studio Sirif Kamara, commonly known by his stage name, Chipai. Chipai, welcome.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum. Everybody. On TV. Mr. Boy Chipai, man from Banjo. So everybody.
Yes, yow si yefi art nga de yengu music ak yoyu nonu. But yaa ngi organize this competition pour isi xale yi together and then ñu lan mooy sa gis-gis daal loo si bëggoon a séntu daal.
Yeah, so bàyyi xel Chipai Kër Xale yi foundation. Then am charity foundation boo xam ne maa ko initiate. But unfortunately dama am a team boo xam ne ñoo ko nekk di doxal. ñu nekk waa Banjul yëpp di ko baag soo bàyyi xel ni nekk di def not only the tournament. Den nekk di jël si street bi ñoo xamante ne comme nekkul di leen consider. Exactly so ñu isi leen ñoo xam ne comme si society bi. comme ñoo xamante ne society bi dañ leen neglect. comme ñu préfère ni nekkuñ soo bàyyi xel am 2 years back am na benn boy ku ñu ooyee Brahma. Banjul la nekkoon comme dafa jëloon tànka bi dañ ko war na amputé. waaye because of dañ ko jëlee si street bi isi ko defal ko mu nekkaat back to the society. so ñu nekk ñoo xamante ne comme believe na ne ñu ngi Banjul te dañ dee am that support daf dee lack. so dañ dee mën a dem loppi through funds isil leen ko. so ñu gis ne ok Banjul dafa am lu dee lack doo despite all Banjul amul paak fu xale yi di foyee ak yu mel noonu ba pare soma bi dañ dee nekk si bit bi di raw nekk si kër bi di stop seen parents yi ba pare ñu yu bëree bëri so ñu laaj ñu foog ne ok am na li mu war a mun a def pour isindoo yëpp ñoom ñëpp together waa Banjul yëpp xale yi so ku si nekk gis si boppam ñu ne football la ngay bëgga so ñu isi soose be all of be Mandinka bi yëpp boole leen so ñu came up last year with 34 teams though despite all métti woon na seen kaw because of amutoon park fu gars yi mun a play so this year ñu came up with this another initiative mooy the same thing so ñu ñëw with the Banjul Sport Committee gaa jox ñu park bi so ñu demal with 32 teams this year so yàlla defen aga to the final stage yeah.
So xoolee xale yi pour isi leen together then ñu play football because yëf yi mooy ne football dañ ko bugga ci seen xol bi organizing competition bi naka la meloon because xam na ne 32 teams du caaxaan loolu dafa mel ni comme full World Cup wala full competition boo xam ne dafa rëy.
Honestly musuta yomba because soo bàyyi xel bu ñëw register sax 64 teams lañ register te da ngaa gis ne dañ ko bëggoon a def league 16 teams waaye ñu gis ne yëpp teams yi yëpp mënuñoo bokka te at the end am na yenn teams ñu ñoo génnee yaa ma gën a xam société bu ndika dañoo foog ne mbiri stade dañ ak yu mel ne ñu ne ok bàyyi na ñu go with 32 teams su ko defee ñu dem with the knockout musuta yomb bi ko man dama teel ba xaaju guddi imaginal 4 o'clock si guddi xam nga ndax mairie seen yaay dañ dem si jàkka bi julli fajar xam nga lan xale de maa ko mala fajar léegi-léegi seen match ji jeex ñu ñëw ñu ne dañoo appel soo musuta yomba ak man honestly speaking so 32 teams yooyu pour ma coordonner ko benn aksi fii was a big time because soo bàyyi xel doorin bi yëpp maa ko doon fon suma own xaalis even last year amutoon paak bi dañ dem seen di fay so maa ko doon finance maak suma team so at bi nañ gis ne sax at least jox nañu de paak Banjul Sport Committee ñu dem yeah so ñoo ko doon jël di ko finance even though the final soo bàyyi xel xam nga rek mun naa laa wax ne daal anyways yombu daal yeah gisuñ council support gisuñ nobody support ñu ñoo ko doon def xanaa léegi-léegi leen gis moo step in ak individuals ñoo xamante ni comme japonais si waaye to be honest musuta yomba
but objective bi daal mooy woon ne pour isi xale yi together and then make sure ne they are safe especially during the summer holiday
yeah te soo bàyyi xel at the end of the day last year def nañ ko te gisuñ benn xale bu raw wala road accident ñu ko noonu loo xamante ne ñu gis ne ok lii mu ngay dem through this year tamit the same thing xale yi dem ne ba ubbi school gisuñ kenn xale bu drown si beach bi wala dégg any that kind of information so ñu gis ne ok kon lii li mu war a continuer la li mu war a def la
léegi nii lan mooy sa plan pour expand ko pour make sure ne tamit there is consistency because su fekkee ne yaa ko dee organise te xaalis bi mu ngay jógee mainly si sa poste loolu pour sustain ko xam nga loolu dafa jafe football dafa seer da nga war a fay referees yi da nga war a organise kids yi suñ fa ñëwee tamit you have to make sure that they are safe ak yooyu noonu yëpp so loolu yëpp xaalis bu bari la daal pour expand ko daal ba yaa ngi uti partnership
honestly speaking su ma amee partnership dinañ ko jël ba pare xëy na ñu ngi try pour next year ñu try ni ñu amee by all means partnership because last year soo bàyyi xel am na xale bu demoon suñu tournament bi even though man suma boppam maa ko doon take care ak suma team so mu nekkoon loo xamante ne lu métti la despite all after from there da nga gis ne tamit next year ñu ngi try pour def ko with xam naa ne moom most likely dañoo wax ne 16 teams waaye dañoo demaat with at least more than 44 teams because xale yu nekk di ko pareel comme next year duñ gis this year daf dee gën a yokku so da ngaa gis ne daal affaire yi yombul so li nekk di def mooy soo bàyyi xel ñu ngi try pour establish Banjul amul académie because nu ma ne gars yi dañ neglect football yi Banjul boo tamit nekkoon di consider xale yi because soo ne xale yi ñoom ñoo di future leaders tomorrow dafa war a door tey soo bàyyi xale yi sport bi si boppam bugga nañ ko waaye amul that support soo bàyyi xel Banjul gisuma fa that standard académie boo xam ne comme da ngaa mën ne ok lii académie boo xamante dina mën a tax xale yi mun a nga pave way pour ñoom so ñu ngi try
ñu nekk ay professional football
ñu ngi try pour establish kër xale yi kër xale yi académie football académie biir Banjul because through this football then select 30-man squad si biir 30-man squad bi leen nekk di selecté comme académie boo xam ne dinañ ko taxawal at least mu nekk loo xamante ne something standard so right now mooy initiative bi leen bugg a taxawal xam nga rek next year tamit dinañ try the same thing doo despite dina métti waaye tamit comme ni nga ko dee waxee la rek ñun suñ gisee dañoo a partnership you going with that partnership waaye tamit suñ gisul still now dañoo def ko di ko goto rek waaw
ba pare sax gis naa prominent individuals ñu ngi attend event bi tamit ñi nga xam ne am nañ baat si dëkk bi so xëy na loolu dina war a gën a mun a tax su ko defee sustainability bi dina fa nekk waaye tam pour bugg a am na reach out ngeen tamit to companies
def na loolu yëpp
amoon na waaw sometimes mu jafe nag
waaw try nañ pour foog a yéen a bunta yi waaye honestly speaking comme nu ma la ko waxee la rek maybe xam naa pour ñoom dénk seen lii taw na mel ni xale la pour xale la ak yu mel na all that waaw moo tax xëy na nekkoon di leen consider that's what I mean so moo tax ma ne la xëy na comme su fekkee ne dem believe ne xale yi ñoom dañu future dafa war a door so at the end of the day mooy loolu try nañ pour nag yéen a doos waaye it was very hard
waaw bro ma bëggoon a laajte tamit xam nga yaa ngi wax ne yi fi soma la indi xale yi together gis nañ ne tam women's football xale yu jigéen ñi tamit ñoom tam seen football mu ngi ñu ngi bëgg a try pour mu dem kanam daal waaye according to nit ñi ñu ne grassroots bi duñ leen lee trial foofu pour ñu mun a egg si kaw dañ leen lee bàyyi bañ mag ñu ne ok team a ngi nii jigéen a ngi nii ñu ngi play te xam nga boobu du dem soo xaw man da yaa ngi xoolee foofu because right now sax Gambia play nañ win nañ ñu 3-2 waaye di nga gis ne ba léegi noise bi doo ko dégg a fen lan nga foog ne yow bëgg nga football lan nga foog ne mooy problème bi
problème bi comme nu ma la ko waxee la rek fii ñaari mbir la nekkul di consider jigéen yi because su ma tonamee soo bàyyi xel most like every day damaa gis ay jigéen di ñoo seetaan si te every time bi gaa dem ma dee approach yi xanaa suñu paree ne comme su yu góor yi su ñun ngay ñëw understand nga comme bëggoon nañ koo def bëggoon nañ koo try waaye nekkoon na loo xam dafa métti ak ñun understand nga waaw dafa métti bëggoon nañ koo try xëy na suñu fekkee Banjul la sax suñu amee benn 10 teams boo xamante ne yëpp jigéen la gars yi am fa am nañ team ba am fa waaye at the end of the day wax naa ko gars yi kon war koo coordinate war a génne that finance kon ñun daj si xale yëpp suñ ko war a def papa metti unless and until su fekkee ne comme council ñëw na pour partnership ou pare nañ pour involve yooyu at least dinañ amee solution
waaw waaye gis nañ fa député mayor
ñu fa woon dabaax waaw xam nga di ko jaajëfal even though ñoom kele fa elu some of the Banjul ñoo xamante ne elders la leen ñëw nañ pour attend grace the occasion and it was very cool xanaa kañ li may am pour ñaax leen rek ñoom seen boppa wala ne comme buñ ko seetaan yi fi Banjul la understand nga so loo xam ne que lu yóbbu Banjul kanam la rek waaw na si gars yi jàppal nu mu gën a rafetee rek waaw dina doon am solo torop
dafa mel ni 1 minute lañ am Gajaga da nga bëgg a wrap up
pour wax ne daal initiative la boo xam ne lu baax la pour jël xale yi daal jox leen dara loo xam ne si loolu la ñooy yëngu te kan moo xam mais bi si kanam tuuti ñi nga xam ne dañ fi play football especially goal scorer boobu noonu su fekkee dafa continuer football in future waaw mun na ko make football in career
gis nañ fi Minte mi doon toppa boss bi ëllëg si biir moom moo score goal bi nga xam ne moo yóbbu Gambia so nit ki daal doo musa xam fu nit wërsëgam di jógee
te ba pare yëfi xale daal jéena ba man nu ma ko foogee daal nguur gi ñëpp companies ñëpp ñoo si war a jàppa daal pour dimbale leen daal si lu muy yëngu kay ñëpp dañ ko war a sopp
waaw waaye ngeen waxtaan ak UNICEF tam ñoom nekk nañ ñoo xam ne dañ dee gestu mbiri xale
yi tam
su ko defee ngeen seet si ñoom you never know where support can come from waaye jërëjëf Mamadou Gajaga thank you so much for joining us and good luck ñu ngi laa ñaanal yow ak organisation bi foundation bi yëpp ñu dem si kanam li ngaa def rafet na torop bu la dara xëcca nag sooy def lu baax amuloo support danga dee bëgg a bàyyi bul bàyyi continuer rek dina baax inshallah Ibrahima that is all we have time for ba ëllëg su soobee yàlla endu leen ak jaama